then we need to focus more so on doing that. We eliminate the transportation issues because they're walking to their neighborhood. We eliminate the invisible gang lines because they're walking back to their immediate community. If education is truly the key, this is the way to affect the entire household, is through universal joint use again. Roman Reina, Ward 4.
All right, Senator Sarmiento for 2. I think the tax, I'm conflicted about it because I don't like taxes, but I also know that we're in a corner where we really have this very big deficit, and I'm very concerned about our city going bankrupt. So I would want to definitely leverage these monies, if they're approved, to building more revenue and to investing in our business friendliness, and investing in businesses that are already here. For example, tourism is already bringing 73 million people into our county, just 10 minutes away from us. We're not capturing really any of that. We don't have a consistent quality of experience when people come down. They have a terrible time parking. They have a lot of issues that they have. It's very difficult to come into the city, have a good time within 2 hours. We need to definitely focus on our economic development, and that's how I would meet our needs of restoring our park rangers, our free after-school programs, and all these things we need it by bringing in revenue, not taxing people. Thank you.
It's pretty obvious that we definitely need to give back and improve our streets and our neighborhoods. Obviously, that is probably one of the biggest issues that we have. It hasn't been done in a very, very long time. We do need to improve that. But besides that, we all know that we would have a whole, meeting so that we can get the resident feedback. I would like to bring back like the Gigabyte movement and just make it tech savvy, make it something where we can continue to increase our revenue and use that for that. If we don't get it, obviously again, it's to make sure that we create the revenue needed so that we don't need to tax our residents. If we have an innovative council, then we can create the revenue needed so that taxing our residents is not our first option. It should be our very, very last. So yes, let's fix our streets. Let's make this a quality living city that we all want to live in. Thank you.
Remember guys, California is the 5th largest economy in the world. We have more money in this state than the United Kingdom. So we don't need a gas tax and we don't need sales tax increases across the board to make ends meet. What we have is not a money problem, it's a money management problem. If this sales tax were to pass, I would make sure to hold the council accountable, my colleagues and myself and city staff, to make sure that this money is appropriated to that pretty ballot title that we put on there, to safer neighborhoods, combat the homeless issue, police officers, city staff, all those city vacancies that have remained vacant since 2008. That's why we don't move forward. We're a stagnant city because we haven't done a great job at appropriating funds across the board. Not just city staff and parks, but everywhere. We need to make sure that these funds are appropriated to youth programs, to our parks, to our park rangers, to our city staff, to planning, to move that process quicker. It shouldn't take 16 months.
This is a fun question. What would I do if I had millions and millions of dollars to spend? Well, I think the more responsible thing to think about at this point is we need to know where we need to put that money. We need an audit. We need a true wholesale forensic audit. We need to understand where we need to bolster our budget. We need to stabilize our budget. We need to do that in order to provide quality services that all of us in this room know are lacking. So we need to make sure it's not the fun answer, but this is the real answer. We need to do that. Now, what if it fails? Well, like any household here in this room does, you tighten your belts, you figure out where we need to cut. There's a lot of fat in the budget to cut. And we need to look at it, again, with an audit, we can be able to figure that out. And with the money we could, if we do get this windfall of money through the tax, we need to look at economic development. Not just slogans, not telling people what to do, but actually develop ways to aggressively go out and attract businesses the way that other cities around us are doing.
Funny thing about money, there's 11 cities going through those taxes. What will you do if this measure passes? What do we need in the city of Santa Ana? Safety, parks, community centers, the youth, education. Where will we implement those monies if they come? As a resident, I don't want to have another tax on my property. As an individual, that I need a quality of life for every single one of you, I will support it. But only if it is implemented for the things that I believe, which is parks, city, safety, libraries. We have two, and they are very, very poor quality. And I think my community deserves way better than that. There is a lot of families still that don't own a computer, people that need to be addressed with these monies. So, what I'm looking for is the support of all of you. Read that measure very, very careful, and please vote this November 6th.
Miguel May Gonzalez, Ward 2. I'm the tax fighter. I'm against the taxes. But if this bill passes, believe me, we got a lot of stuff we can invest in. Our streets needs light, our avenues, but we need to look for more sources of income. Definitely we need to work. We have a jail system. We need to put some money there so we can make more money. As a business owner, I believe in the reaction where you put money and you make more money. So we need people with experience. Someone said we need really people that has experience. That's what we need in our city council. Miguel May Gonzalez for Ward 2. Thank you very much.
You're probably wondering why I keep getting up. It's because I don't want to be rude and I want everyone to see me over on this side. I believe that if the measure passes, then we need to use it for you, for the residents, for services. How many of you live in South Santa Ana, and how many of you have ruined your car in potholes, and you can't even go to the park because it's not well lit? So South Santa Ana has been neglected for many, many years. We need to focus on giving those residents some of the benefits enjoyed by the rest of the city. So first, that money's got to go to the residents. And if it doesn't pass, well, there's a lot of alternatives. We need to focus on making it more business friendly. And I know that we have a horrible, complex system of permits for our business people. Imagine if we could get somebody to buy in and purchase the YMCA, come in, renovate it, and make it like a huge community center for us. Imagine the property taxes that will be coming in for us.
Okay, now we're going to go to closing statements. There's a lot of things that we haven't touched on, but you know, these issues are in the city. Rent control, cannabis, gangs, and now the governor, day before yesterday, signed a new law that's going to give us trouble, and he's legalized all street vending in the state of California. So we're going to go back to the drawing board here. And this includes individuals selling food on the street corner. So we're going to start with closing statements. Delina, you're next.
Thank you everyone for coming. I really appreciate the opportunity for you to come and meet me and the rest of the candidates, and you can start formulating which of the candidates that you're going to vote for me. So, I'm a long-time resident, I'm a veteran, I'm a teacher, and I have experience of over 6 years of being an elected official. I'm the current president of the Rancho Santiago Community College District. I have experience in balancing the budget. We have not laid off any employees in the colleges for many, many years. We actually have a huge revenue, and I am an advocate for education. So I want our youth to be educated. I don't want them in jail. I want them in colleges and universities, and I want them to come back as engineers so that we can make our city the great city that it was once. So on November 6th, vote for Delina Mendoza, Ward 6, and I guarantee you, you will not regret it. Otherwise, you come talk to me.
Miguel May Gonzalez, running for Ward 2. Believe me, the reason I'm running is because I know I can do things a lot better. I want to work with our police department, I want to work with our city, I want to work with the community. We need to work all together. And the only reason that I'm really upset with the city is because they're saying They're a friendly business. They're not a friendly business. We really need to make it happen. Really make it a friendly business. It takes me over a year to open a restaurant. So that can't be happening here in the city. We need more money. So we need to work with the planning department and with a lot of more stuff. But the reason I'm running is because I want to do better for our community, I want to do better for our youngsters, I want to do better for our students, and better for everybody, even the undocumented people. Thank you very much. Miguel Mike Gonzalez for World 2.
My goal to this statement is, first of all, to thank every single one of you here tonight. The reason is because the only difference that is going to make this city moving forward is every single one of you. Secondly, what do we need in our city? We have to make it happen. It is up to every single one of us. Irma Macias, I think I cannot a little bit of my head if I know a little more than 10 of you here, and that you know me for over 35 years volunteering for our community. I'm so proud of having the opportunity to come today so I can face you and see if there's anything possible that we can work on and move our city forward. As today, my name is Irma Macias, representing Ward 2 and looking forward so much for your support. You want to change the city of Santa Ana? Please vote for me.
Well, I want to start by thanking the organizers of this event. Thank you very much for all that you've done to pull this together. I want to thank each and every one of you in the audience for coming and listening to us speak and get a chance to learn what all the candidates up on the stage are about. What I want to say is, look, my wife and I legitimately lived in Ward 4 for over 5 years. We haven't messed around. We're not hopping around from one place to another within a certain time frame. We gotta stop these shenanigans. Enough's enough. We need to get serious. As you heard tonight, we talked about some serious issues, whether it's addressing economic development, public safety, the impacts of homelessness, neighborhood-wide parking plans, increasing park space. We really need to tackle these problems, and we can't keep doing the dirty politics as usual that we have in this city. I bring to the table education, experience, and passion. And for those of you that know me, I will not stop being a very passionate and strong advocate for our golden city, and I want to see it shine. So just remember, on November 6th, Bill Becerra, Ward 4. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is David Penaloza for Ward 2. Like I said, I've lived my entire life in the city, and it gave me so much, and I've seen it deteriorate over the last couple of years. My issues are public safety, economic development, and our city infrastructure that we have allowed to deteriorate. Just look at all around us. Our parks are unusable. Our streets are undrivable. Drive down Wade Street, you know what I'm talking about. We need to focus on our youth, educate them, to cut that cycle of homelessness, and not allow them to be get into gangs. You know, I worked over the last year with the Illumination Foundation, educating our youth, all the kids in there. They tell me, we had a segment once on Wednesday where they said that their goal was to not see homeless and gang members in our city, in their neighborhoods. You know, there needs to be addressing that. There needs to be some ways to address those issues and provide youth.
Myrna Velasquez, your candidate for Ward 6, Santa Ana City Council. As a woman of faith, I promise you to always be transparent, to always be available, and always be hardworking. We're raising our children here. We're raising our families here. We need to bring back the quality of life. Enough is enough. Let's not tolerate it. Let's not be reactive. Let's be proactive. Let's make sure that all of our residents are listened to, that there are no more shenanigans in the city council, that please elect the right people. Look us up, reach out to me. Start now. Start beginning the dialogue now, so that when, God willing, when I am in council, you will have that rapport with me. Again, just make sure that enough is enough. Thank you.
Sandra Pena Sarmiento for Ward 2. And I think of all the candidates for Ward 2, I think I'm one of the only locally grown, homegrown candidates, so I'm a local girl. I did really well in Santa Ana from doing, from being involved with my schools and local communities with the arts. And I did really good outside of Santa Ana, and I chose to come back. I could have lived anywhere. Me and my husband, went to Stanford, I went to UCLA. We could have chose any place. We wanted to come back to my hometown. We wanted to be a part of making it, turning it around and making it be the best it can be. My priorities are neighborhood safety, education, and economic development. I've taught at 5 schools here in Santa Ana, many cultural centers. I've established a film festival. I had an art gallery here. Some of you have gone to the OC Film Fiesta. I also established a nonprofit and helped establish our Arts Commission, on which I served for 4 years, creating 4 years of programs that have benefited community that had gotten 0 from the city. I could do the same for every resident here. I'm here to fight for you. Thank you.
Roman Reina, we started off as thanking you for your time. Because I truly believe that time is the most valuable thing you possess. You don't have to be here, but you intentionally chose to be here. Just as I intentionally chose to utilize my time to invest in my community. I've invested over 30 years working with the community human services, day in and day out, understanding the challenges our community has. I legitimately haven't lived here for 5 years. I legitimately have been born here. I've lived here my entire life in the city and I've worked the entire life. I know what my city is going through because I work it every single day. I use my time wisely, investing and talking to our community firsthand. You heard my opponent say he wants to run to make City Hall better. I want to run to make your life better, to make Santa Ana better, because residents of Santa Ana is truly what makes a difference. I'm grateful for somebody to help me out, and I want to do the same for somebody else. Make no mistake, this election is key and critical. We have 3 brand new city council members going to come on board, and if you like the work that Miguel's doing, fantastic. Vote for the POA candidates. If you don't like what Miguel's doing, stop it right here, right now, and don't vote for the POA candidates of Santa Ana.
Thank you, everybody, for being here tonight. I really appreciate you taking the time. Paul Gonzalez for Ward 2. As Roman said, this is a critical election. This next council will define the future of our city. And we need to ensure that that future is not defined by the POA, that it's not defined by family members of council members who are interested in furthering those motives. We need to ensure that the future of this city is defined by all of you. And that is why I'm running to represent you. I will serve this city in the same capacity that I have for years. I've volunteered on the personnel board. I've volunteered in our schools. I see what the students in our community are going through every day. And I am here to serve them and to serve you on November 6th. Please vote for Paul. Thank you.
Cecilia Iglesias, candidate for Ward 6. I've lived in Santa Ana since 1979. I'm a proud product of Santa Ana School District. I've lived in Ward 6 since 1990, so I've been there for 28 years. I know the needs of our community. I've also been a very passionate advocate for taxpayers. I believe that we could do so much more with all the money that we have. One of the things that I'm always committed to is asking those tough questions. You know me on the school board, I'll ask those tough questions, and I am the one that's always getting attacked. But you know what? It's because the questions that you want me to ask is protecting you, the residents of Santa Ana, and that's what we're there for. We're public servants. We're working for you, and that's the way it should be. My commitment to you is that I am going to fight to bring that quality of life in Santa Ana. I know there's a lot of things that we could be doing that we're not, and definitely what I want to have is transparency. One thing that I want is for all of us to be at the bargaining table when we make those agreements with all of the unions that we have. So vote to Cecilia Iglesias, Santa Ana.
Again, thank you for having me here, and I appreciate your time. Alfonso Secapia for Ward 2. For the last 5-6 years, I've been working with veteran homelessness and housing. And I have learned a lot of stuff doing that type of work, and I would like to translate these ideas into our community. I know what's needed. What's needed is a new vision that will address infrastructure, public safety, housing, and community development. I hope that I have earned your vote. Reach out to me. I'll be here around afterward and ask some questions and take it from there. God bless you. Thank you.
Okay, don't go away, but give these young ladies and gentlemen, for a round of applause. It takes a lot to do it. Many campaigns for a lot of candidates, so I know what kind of work goes into those. So, but tonight we're going to have an audience participation with the candidate that we have for mayor. Our current mayor, who's running for re-election, is in Mexico City tonight, so he cannot be with us. But we have our city council member, Sal Tinajero, who needs no introduction. He's a lifelong involved in the
Okay, also just to explain that Sal from Circuit Court tell us a little bit about himself, and then we're going to open it up to questions directly to Mr. Tinajero. So, and then Lisa will take the microphone.
Sal is going to introduce himself, and then we're going to field some questions from the audience. So, have some patience. And he has.
Attention please, attention. We have papers now, please. Take a seat. Councilman Tinajero, given of his time, it's not wasted with us talking inside. If you need to talk, please go outside. Let's give Councilman Tinajero his time.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you coming out this evening. Let's give a round of applause to the candidates who were here just a little while ago. It takes a lot to put yourself out there. I'm not going to give you your typical introductory speech about this and that. What I want to do tonight is I asked for a little more time. And the reason I asked for a little more time for each question is because it's very difficult to answer a question and really go in depth to what's really happening with just 1 minute. 1 minute is giving sound bites, and we don't want that. You deserve, and I think the voters deserve, to really know what's going on deep under the surface in City Hall. First and foremost, 90% of all elections are won by the person who raises the most money. That's been happening over years. When I first ran for city council in 2006, I had the Police Officers Association, the firefighters, the Chamber of Commerce, and I also had the realtors, because the mayor had lied to them and told them that I was for something that wasn't the case. They raised $160,000, I raised 10, and I loaned myself $10,000. And I remember on the day of the election, I told the students, I said, hey guys, I'm going to lose tonight. Don't feel bad for me. I still have 2 more years on the school board, but I needed to do this because I needed to talk about these issues. Somewhere, somehow, many people were praying, lighting candles, doing what they had to do, and made it through. The same is going to go, the same thing is bound to happen this time. I ask you this, you just heard a bunch of candidates up here give you their spiel. Before you listen to anything they have to say, take a look at who's giving them money. If you follow the money, you follow what they stand for. People don't give to campaigns because they like you. They give to campaigns because there's something that has been promised. And that's the honest truth. So, I'm running for mayor because I'm going to tell you the story tonight that we've been chipping away at the infrastructure that was held here that the mayor had for so many years. And I'm going to give you a story as we go through this, as I answer questions to what we did. In 2006, we were elected. We realized right away that we get waited out. And everyone would placate you with little tiny things, little pet projects, but at the end of 8 years, you were gone. So they waited you out. So we went to the voters and said, can you please give us one more term? The voters gave us one more term. And that's where things changed. And that's the story I'm going to explain in just a little bit because my time is running out. They were ready for the story, but that's all right.
Anybody have any questions?
I'm Mike Carter, president of Ward 3. Good evening, Councilman Tenajero. The question of the evening seems to be, do you support Measure X, which will increase Santa Ana sales tax from 7.75% to 9.25%?
So the question is, do I support Measure X? And so, once again, I'm going to tell you where my position is. At the end, it's unfortunate the mayor's not here. You could have created a T-graph and said, I agree with this guy on these things, and I disagree with him on this. And you could have seen for yourself where the best possible direction is to go. I want to reframe it. It's not about supporting Measure X. It's about meeting Measure X. Something has happened that I want people to know. The tax revenue that Irvine receives for us is about 40, or for their housing, because their housing was built after Prop 13, is in the like 40 millions. And you go through every city, and the newer cities don't have this issue because they get that property tax revenue. Santa Ana is below Orange, which is a third of our size. So what happens is we need revenue to be able to sustain ourselves because our retirement has also, the retirement system in California has also said, you used to pay in, we were asking you to pay in 20%, we're going to ask you to pay in 33%. So what does that do? It creates a tremendous burden on us. It's not wasteful spending. You should see our second floor. It's completely empty because we've laid off and laid off and laid off. It wasn't until 2004 or 2012 where we did something that nobody thought we could. I was able to build a super majority on the city council. We had 6 council members that we all worked together. The mayor was in an island all by himself. What happened in those 2 years? We brought in a city manager who knew what he was doing. He came in. We were about to go bankrupt. Instead, he sits down with me. He says, Sal, there's so much bad stuff happening here that the mayor cut deals that the mayor has cut, that's why we're in this situation we're in. I said, so what are we going to do? And he started to give me the game plan. After year 1, we had a $15 million surplus. After year 2, we had $30 million in reserves. In year 3, everyone got a raise for the first time since 2008. Things were good. Our reserves were up to $50 million. But the problem was, was that the mayor cannot have a strong city manager. Because a strong city manager that has ethics, when it comes to how to run a city, will stop him. And he was being stopped from using our city for his own personal gain. And I can explain that later on. So what happened? He saw a weakness. The Police Officers Association did not like their chief. And there was an issue there. He preyed upon that issue and would make sure that they were able to get 2 more candidates that then completely changed the council. So what happened to our city manager? On high noon, on December 28th, while I was in Chicago with my family, they fired him. And they bring somebody else. And guess what? 2 years later, we're in structural deficit again. We're talking about laying off people. It's because of that leadership. What has he given to us in 28 years? We have fewer officers than we did in 1971, and we lost our fire department. If that's the leadership we want, vote for him. If you want a difference, vote for him.
Can I ask then, you do support Measure X for Measure X?
Absolutely, because we need it.
Hi, so I'm new here, so I'm still kind of seeing what's been going on in the city. So a lot of folks have mentioned that the POA has endorsed candidates, and the POA has a lot of funding that's going into the department and union. What are you gonna do to address that? Like, how are you gonna, I guess, like, hold police accountable if you are like a mayor?
Well, I've already been working on that. So we were in negotiations, and the Police Officers Association wanted a certain raise. I want to give them that raise, but we don't have the money to do it. And so I could have sold out and sold you out and said, okay, I'm going to give them that raise so I can get their support too, because they have a substantial war chest. But it's not important for me to get elected, but give up the city. I love this city. This is where I live. So I couldn't support it. So we're talking about holding accountability. That's where you hold accountability. That's why I support the sales tax, because I know that we need that money. That's why after 10 years it goes down to 1 cent. And after 20 years it expires. I wanted to make sure that there was a sunset clause in it. But this is about making sure that I come to you, the mayor's not here because he doesn't want to answer that question. But I come here to tell you why I've operated in the manner that I've operated. I work here. I work at the school district. I work with children, district-wide. I created a program that gets kids into college, that builds their vocabulary. That's what I do. I'm about building our youth, building our community, and making sure that there is a barrier when someone tries to take advantage of us and says, no, we're not going to go there, even if it costs me Messi. So I hope that can answer that question.
Not really, but
Tell me what you wanted to, the accountability really is with you. Because if you vote for the right candidates, then you have a majority on the council that can hold accountability. But one person can't do it all by themselves. But I've told you what I've done as an individual right now.
no, yeah, I mean.